Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is having a brilliant day. Now today guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the top 5 succulent plants that I recommend for beginners to grow. And I'm going to try and keep the video as short as possible because I have a habit of rabbiting on. And this isn't, before going any further, this isn't a how to care for these individual type of plants. I'm going to make videos on these 5 top plants I recommend on how to care for them in the future. So stay tuned for that. A couple of them I've already done already. So if I have, I'm going to link the video up above to the care videos. This is just the top 5 plants that I recommend. And then you can do your own research on that particular genus of succulent plant that I'm recommending. Now, number 1, first of all, is Gastyria. And I have quite a few different types of Gastirias in my collection. I'm going to show you these 2 here. This one is a variegated one. And this one here is a lovely green. Also a bit of a variegation with a lovely lime green sort of spots on it. Absolutely gorgeous. This one is one of the very first plants I've had, actually. I've had this for probably well over 20, possibly even 25 years, and it's formed into a lovely clumping plant. And this one I've had probably about 6 or 7 years that I got here. Absolutely beautiful. And I have made a video already on how to care for Gastyria. So please do check that video out. Links will be up above now. And I'll also put the link to that video at the end of this video on the end card. So do check that out. And it tells you all about how to care for these particular plants. And the reason why I recommend these for beginners is that they're low light plants. They're the type of plants that can take a lot of light or not a lot of light. Now, they do need a bright spot, obviously, which I mentioned in my care video. So don't think it's a bit like Sansevierias. People think they can just put them in the dark. They do need a bright spot, but they can take a lot more shade than a lot of other succulents can. So they're ideal. They're also nice clumping plants, so they don't grow very large. So ideally, if you live in apartments or you only have a windowsill, and they're also very easy to care for as well, as I mentioned in that video. So there you go. Gastyria, do check that out. Highly recommend that for beginners. Now, number 2 is Echeverias, and this happens to be probably one of my favourite for beginners because it is just such not only is it's a huge genus of beautiful succulent plants, but it's very easy to grow as well. And I have quite a lot of different Echeverias in my collection here. Too many to show you in this video. To show this is one here. This is another one. This is the Setosa that has recently been flowering even late into the fall here, or I should say early winter now. Another Echeveria there, lovely. The Pearl Vine, absolutely beautiful. And then I have some more here that I've planted out into a big bowl. Gonna need a good pruning in the spring. And this one here, which is a lovely one. This is Echeveria Metallica. And this one here is another Pearl Vine, absolutely beautiful. And when I say Echeveria, I also recommend there's Echeveria in its whole self. There's also Graptopetalum and Graptosedum, and they're all sort of similar, and they're all very easy to grow. So these are a great one for beginners. They're also very easy to find in garden centres as well. They're one of the most popular succulent plants. So they're very easy to get hold of, and it's such a large variation in them as well. Very easy flowering. They do like to have a bright spot. In fact, the brightest position you can give them as well. And in the summer, they do like a lot of watering. They can take very cold temperatures in the winter, which is a bonus as well. I grow these out in my polytunnel that I keep at a minimum of 5 degrees Celsius, so no lower than that. Obviously, they can't take frost, but they are quite hardy compared to some succulents. And as I say, very popular, very easy to grow, and they always look like they're in flower even when they're not flowering. I have made a video on how to remove the dead leaves from Echeverias, because the only sort of annoying habit with Echeverias and Graptopetalums and Graptosedums is that as they grow, they do sort of trail. They're easy to prune back, and the top part can be rerooted, and then they form loads of little plants all around the base, as you can see what's happened with some of these here. But as they sort of grow up, they lose their lower leaves like this, as you can see. And that's normal for them to do this. To show you how this one has grown into a very big stalk. This is actually how that comes all the way up there. This is its original pot there. This is actually growing in there. So they do grow very, very lanky. And you can prune them back. But as they go, you remove the dead leaves as well, just like that, as you can see what I'm doing now. And I've made a video on how to do that and how to know when to remove them as well, because this one here isn't ready to remove. So do check that out. Links up above to that video on how to remove the dead leaves from Echeverias. So there you go, number 2, Echeverias, Graptosedums, Graptopetalums, and the like. Highly recommend them as wonderful beginner plants if you want to get to collecting succulents. Number 3, aloes, and this happens to be probably my favourite succulent plant, or one of my favourite succulent plants. It's hard to decide, but it's such a varied genus, and there is loads and loads of aloes that are available. Very, very easy plant to grow, readily available. The most common one being the Aloe Vera, which is actually this one here, which is a huge plant that is probably well over 20 years old. Lovely specimen. And here an Aloe arborescens as well, very large old plant here. And these are aloes that I've grown from seed myself. Aloe arborescens also, and an Aloe elgenica also there. And some more aloes also there, and big variety. I have a huge variety of aloes here in my collection, as you can see there. Too many to show you at the moment, and I have made a video already on how to care for aloe plants, so please do check that video out. Links up above and also at the end of this video on the end cards. Go into detail there on how to care for aloes. They're absolutely fantastic plants, and as I say, very easy to care for and very readily available. So there you go. That is what I recommend as number 3, aloes. And as I say, when I'm talking about these plants, if you want more information in general about all these different types of succulents, just Google them, and it gives you lots of information. I say it's very varied in their species, in the genus. Aloe is a huge genus. Number 4, crassulas, and this is another very readily available range, a genus to purchase for sale. The most commonly one being the common jade plant, as you can see there, often seen for sale. We have quite a few different jades in our collection there. This is the Crassula hobbit jade, and this is the Crassula ovata jade plant. And quite a few. This is a lovely variegated jade plant here that we have also. Again, a large genus. It covers quite a large range of succulent plants. This also is a crassula. This one is absolutely commonly known as the baby's necklace. All in beautiful flower, winter flower at the moment. Absolutely gorgeous. And very easy genus to care for too. And if you want to know, I'll just show you here. This is my very old jade that I've had for well over 25 years, and it has flowered a few times. It hasn't flowered the past couple of years, not quite sure why. It's just one of them things. It probably doesn't get as much sun as it ideally should do. I might put this out in the summer, outside for the summer again to get daylight before bringing it into the polytunnel. But I can share my tricks and tips on how to get your jade plant to flower if yours has never flowered, and links up above to that video on how to get a jade money plant to flower. That's if you have a jade or you want to get a jade. And as I say, lots of in this genus here, more crassulas here, another one here, absolutely wide genus, a lot of varieties in this genus, and very easy to grow. So there you go. That's number 4, crassula. And number 5, last but not least, Hawa Thea. And again, another very large genus, can take lower light levels as well, and a lot of the plants grow nice and compact, making it also ideal if you have apartments or lack of space. Another Hawa Thea there, and a few different ones I have in my collection. Another one there that I've had for a very long time. I've had that actually for over 35 years, and it's grown into a lovely big bowl arrangement there. As I say, they're very easy to grow too. And I said this isn't a care video, so do your own research on these particular plants with the Hawa Thea. But highly recommend that as well. And I could really go on. If I was to do the top 10, I'd probably even say sedums. Sedum succulents is a massive genus, and far too many. But some sedums are a little bit tricky for beginners, and one size doesn't really fit all with them. So that's a separate video again. But that's the top 5 I recommend for beginners. So just going over it again. Gastirias, Echeverias, and Graptopetalums, Graptosedums, and the like. Aloes, as you can see here, number 3, number 4, crassulas. There we go. And crassulas here and there. And last but not least, Hawa Theas, which is there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to know a little bit more on how to grow cacti and succulents, please do check out my website, desertplantsofAvalon.com, and you go onto the growing tips, drop down bar, growing tips, and lots of tips and tricks on how you can care for cacti and succulents. And if you want to know the top 5 cacti plants that I recommend for beginners, then do check that video out also. Links would also be up above and also at the end of this video. So guys, I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye.